The Canola School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by BASF Canada and Invigor Hybrid Canola.
I'm Amber Bell, and this is Real Agriculture. I am here today with Kaylee Kindrachuk of SAS Canola, and we're going to be talking about on-farm trials and how they differ from plot work and what that looks like for producers and how you can get onto a program that does on-farm trials. So welcome, Kaylee. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the heart of it. What exactly are on-farm trials?
So SAS Canola's program, Top Notch Farming Trials, are a way for us to help farmers be able to answer questions that they may have that are specific to their farm or their area. So we work with farmers to do replicated randomized trials, field scale trials on their farms.
Okay, and how does that differ from plot work?
So there's still a lot of merit to small plot work. But oftentimes it's difficult for farmers to be able to apply the results from small plot work to their own farms, especially if there's miles between the two. So we're helping farmers to take maybe some of the research or the results from the small plot work and apply it onto their farms to see if it works for them.
Okay, and so if there's miles between the two, is it the actual physical miles or agronomic practices, or what's?
Physical miles. So there's a lot of variability on farms. There's a lot of variability from field to field. So sometimes it's very difficult to say that something is going to work when it comes out of small plot research onto your farm. And so this is a way for farmers to be able to test that practice on their field using their own equipment with many of their other existing practices to see for sure if it will work.
Oh, great. So can you give me an example of a completed project?
So last year, 2023, was the first year for Top Notch Farming Trials, and we looked at a foliar applied nitrogen fixing biological product in canola. So we finished up 1 year. We had 9 sites across the province, ranging from Carrot River to Shaunavon. So we had quite a good range of soil zones and environmental conditions. We looked at one product, but unfortunately, fortunately, we didn't see any results across the province. So that's valuable for those growers to be able to answer those questions on their farms. However, there was still a lot of interest, so we're looking at it again this year.
So with that project, so that spanned a number of farms. Do you guys do projects where it's just single farms?
We don't typically, although we do open it up to farmers being able to choose now between whichever protocol that they would like to do on their farm. And so we have some that range from 3 sites to some that range back up to 9 sites. What really drives our programs is for farmers to come to us with the ideas. So we've had a lot of questions in the past as to whether or not these foliar applied nitrogen fixing biological products actually work. And when we wrote the protocol in 2023, early 2023, there wasn't a lot of unbiased third-party information to reference. So we thought this would be a great way to kick off our program and help farmers out.
So outside of just the one project, what value do you see in the entire program in on-farm trials?
So again, farmers are able to see how things work on their field, but also with our on-farm trial program, or Top Notch Farming Trials, we are allowing farmers to also work alongside a research expert, so they have access to that, as well as their agronomist throughout the growing season. The trials are replicated and randomized to account for any field variability as well. And then at the end of the growing season, the results or the data is analyzed so it comes back into a usable form for growers. So sometimes when we just do a regular strip trial, you might see a 4 bushel increase and say, hey, that works. Mm-hmm. But when we actually look at the statistics afterwards, after the data is analyzed, it may come back that it's not actually statistically significant. So it offers a little bit more value and a little bit more information for growers.
Okay, so I'm a canola producer and I have a brilliant idea on how I can make a fortune on my field. Who do I talk to? Who do I bring that idea to?
SAS Canola. Anytime throughout the growing season, farmers and agronomists are welcome to come to us with their ideas. And then throughout the growing season and through the fall, before we launch the next program, we're able to get feedback from other farmers as to whether or not maybe they're interested in it. And if we have enough interest, we will be able to write a protocol and offer it to growers. So if anybody is thinking they might have an idea, please let us know at any time.
Great, and what support is there for the producers? So let's say they do have an idea, you guys approve it, it goes through. What if that gets funded? How does that work? What does
the program is fully covered by SAS Canola. We will also reach out to agronomists to help us. So if a farmer has an agronomist that they would normally work with, we will be contracting that agronomist to help out. So we try to make it really as easy as we possibly can for the farmer. So that agronomist is there during seeding, spraying, harvest to collect samples. And then we also work with Kayla Slind with Warwick, the AgriArm site out at Scott, who is helping to manage our program. So she is kind of our research expert. She offers that support to everybody that participates within our program.
And how long does it take a project to get rolling?
Could be just a matter of a couple of weeks. It's very quick. We started off last year thinking we were going to be offering 2 protocols, and then as we had more interest for a couple more, we've got 4 protocols this year and 25 sites. So it can be very quick. So in addition to working with Kayla, the Saskatchewan crop commissions that all offer on-farm trial programs do work collaboratively together. So we do have some joint protocols so that farmers are able to do trials across multiple crops with the same protocol if they're interested, so it offers more value to Saskatchewan growers. And then we put on joint events and a trial results booklet at the end of the year.
Okay, so my next question was going to be, what can farmers get out of participating? But it actually sounds like they're getting a lot out of participating in this program.
For sure, and the big thing is the results at the end of the year, so they know for sure, and they've had access to that research support to be able to put that trial in correctly, and they have the confidence knowing that that data is going to be usable for them.
Right, and the data includes the economics on it.
Exactly, yeah, we do add the economics for everything as well, just because that's what everybody wants to know.
It comes down to the numbers,
yeah.
Right? Okay, well that's amazing. That's great information, and I really hope people take advantage of that because it sounds like an awesome program.
For sure, yeah, we're really excited to have a full program this year, and then at the end of the year, not only do farmers get the results, but they are all invited to a wrap-up meeting. Usually it's in January, and they get their results, the program results, but then they also get first access to all of the results. So if somebody's doing a canola trial, they'll get the results for wheat, barley, and pulse as well.
Well, that's incredible. Thank you so much for joining us here, Kaylee. And that was Kaylee Kindrachuk on Real Agriculture.